Yes, people, what's good? It's Tobes here. Aye. No Spurs news today, but absolutes. And the absolute is this. Liverpool are big dogs. Yeah? In life, there's a hierarchy. There's a food chain. You have to know your role within that hierarchy. You have to know your role within that food chain. Newcastle United, I'm talking to you. Because what Liverpool have done in the last 24 hours, you know, when in secondary school, when you had the fresh haircut and you get your head slapped, yeah, slap heads, yeah, happy slaps. That's what Liverpool have done to Newcastle. This is a happy slap moment, or moments, should I say? Because in the last 24 hours, we've gone from Newcastle making an audacious swoop for Ekitike to pair him with Isak, either in a two up top or one on the wing or whatever, and just come in and bolster their squad, to Liverpool basically approaching Newcastle for Isak, telling Newcastle, yo, listen, we want Isak. We're going to try and get Isak. If you don't sell us Isak, we're going to go for your target, your number one target right now, Ekitike, because we like him too. Newcastle said, we'll call your bluff. 24 hours later, Fabrice Hawkins, and soon to be David Ornstein have confirmed. Fabrizio right now says Liverpool have submitted an official bid to Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. Ekitike already informed Liverpool that they want more, or Eintracht, informed Liverpool that they want more. Proposal rejected, but it was initial contact. As talks continue, Ekitike has said yes to Liverpool. No issues on personal terms. He wants LFC. This was a guy who was set to go to Newcastle just 24 hours ago. He was going to be living it up in Top Palace, Livello. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you don't know, get to know. Newcastle, fantastic city, good club. Annoying fans, some of their fans are annoying from time to time, but generally they're a good club. Most of the Newcastle fans I know personally, they're cool. They're very level-headed. They play good football. I do like Eddie Howe. I like a lot of their players. But unfortunately, they're still Newcastle. And they've got one of the crown jewels in world football, Isak. Now, I actually think they've done quite well to stand firm on Isak. I respect that. They said, listen, do what you want to do. We are not selling Isak under any circumstances this summer. And I respect that a lot. I really do. Because they made mistakes the last time they were in the Champions League. They didn't bolster their team properly, and they were hit with some unfortunate issues, right? Injuries, etc., etc. They didn't prepare well. Now, they're actually trying to prepare well. Yeah? They've signed Elanga to play on the right, which means they're pushing Murphy to the bench. They were trying to sign Ekitike before the latest developments this morning to play alongside Isak, but to have two strikers there, knowing that they've obviously got rid of Callum Wilson. They've already got two options on the left in Barnes and Gordon. They're looking to sign another centre-back. They're looking to sign midfielders. They're looking to bolster their team, and rightly so. They're going to be playing a lot of football next season, and they're going to be playing against a higher bracket of opposition. So they need not just numbers, but they need quality and depth. They need players coming in and out of the team, but the level's not dropping. So you can understand why they don't want to sell Isak. They can't sell Isak in what they consider an important season for them, especially off the back of winning a trophy. That's fair. Commendable. I respect it. Stay firm. They don't have to sell Isak. He's got 3 years left in his deal, I think. 3 or 4 years left in his deal. They don't have to sell him. And if they are going to sell him, they're going to sell him for a mammoth amount. So they're relatively comfortable with in the Isak situation, right? But Liverpool, being Liverpool, big dogs, according to Grizz, as I said, listen, if you ain't selling us Isak, we're going to take Ekitike. And that's what Liverpool are doing right now. So I brought out this video just to say this. In life, you must know your role, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you must know your role. Yeah? They said, give us your crown jewel, or we're going to take the guy who you're looking to play alongside your crown jewel, and in one day maybe elevate him to play on the same or similar level to your crown jewel. They said, nah, we're going to keep our crown jewel. Thank you. So Liverpool said, all right, cool, fine. We're snatching your shirt. We're snatching your shirt. And that's what they did. That's what they did. Ekitike is on his way to Anfield as we speak. That's power plays. I'm sorry, that is boss moves. Yeah? And listen, Liverpool are playing chess, not checkers. Or you could say they're playing checkers, not chess, because ultimately, yes, they're signing Ekitike, talented player, similar sort of profile to Isak, but nowhere near as good right now. And the numbers prove it. So I'm sure Liverpool would have preferred to sign Isak this summer. I'm sure they would have really, really wanted to push the boat out for him. And it looks like they got money to burn. They didn't spend barely anything last season. They got cash to blow. And we've been hearing that all summer. We were hearing that all year from Grizz, saying they're gearing up for a big summer. They're going to spend dough. They're going to spend dough. And boy, you're seeing it come to fruition now. In life, there's a hierarchy, there's a food chain. And unfortunately for Newcastle, Liverpool are right at the top of that food chain. So if they say, yo, we wanna grab a player that you're grabbing, they're gonna grab that player that Newcastle wanna grab. They may not be able to snatch Newcastle's best player right now because of the contractual obligations and the aspirations that Newcastle have. But make no mistake, Alexander Isak, it's unlikely that he's going to sign another deal at Newcastle. So Liverpool are going to still keep hovering. So yes, I said that maybe they're playing checkers, not chess, because they've landed the inferior player, but they're still landing a player that Newcastle wanted to improve their team just because they can't get Isak. That's mad. That's power plays. So you could say they are playing chess, not checkers. And then when I actually deep it as well, as I said, Isak is unlikely to sign a new deal. So best believe teams are going to go in for Isak again next summer. One of those teams will be Liverpool. So you can't even rule out a possibility that Liverpool sign Ekitike this summer and then next summer they still go in for Isak. You can't even rule that out. You cannot rule that out. They got the hot hand at the moment and they got cash. They got cash, wads of cash in their pockets, ready to blow. So you can't even rule that out. Of course, there'll be more competition, of course. A lot of other players will be in the mix, but in the end of the day, you got to be in it to win it, and they're in it to win it. You have to respect that, honestly. You do. I may not like their fan base, honestly. I don't, but I have to respect their club. They're building a very, very, very good team. They're building a very good team. It's going to be exciting to see the football Liverpool play next year, because you look in the attack, they've raised they're raising the technical level of their team. They brought in Florian Wirtz. That's raising the technical level of your midfield quite a bit. And then they're bringing in a striker who, with all due respect, wipes the floor with Nunes from a technical standpoint. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they're gonna line up next season, how they're gonna play, but we know where they stand in the food chain, in the Premier League food chain. We know where they stand in the hierarchy. Unfortunately, Newcastle, listen, you got to move on to your next targets. I see that Newcastle are in for Wissa now. I actually think Wissa would be a good signing for Newcastle, but relative to what they were after with Ekitike, it's a bit of a step down. But in the end of the day, they need to bolster their team, and that's someone who can actually start games for them alongside Isak or instead of Isak, if Isak is unavailable, and he can score goals. So it's not all doom and gloom for Newcastle. I've not come here just to slap them about. I'm just painting the reality. It is what it is. Liverpool, they're the big dogs. They've flexed their muscles. They've lickle-manned Newcastle United. And unfortunately, that is just the circle of life. You know, Lion King. It's the circle of life. In the jungle, you got the lion, yeah, you got the wildebeest, you got the buffalo. We just literally came from South Africa, but you get my point, yeah? Liverpool are apex predators. Do you get? The apex predators. Liverpool are a lion, yeah? Newcastle United, they're cheaters. So Newcastle United, they can kill. They're still a predator. Yeah, they're fast, they're agile, they're cunning, they'll kill. But in the end of the day, a lion, listen, if you're trying to eat a lion's food, the lion will kill you for sport. They'll kill you for sport. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you my video when I went to Kenya 2-3 years ago. Yeah, 2-3 years ago, I went to Kenya and I saw a lion chasing a cheetah because the cheetah was trying to intrude on its kill. I didn't see it kill the cheetah, but you get my point. Yeah, the cheetah's a predator until it bucks a real predator. So whatever grub you're eating, if the lion wants it, he gonna eat. Food for thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.